Welcome to the Rudick Report. Today is Thursday, March 30th, 2023. If you can, please support this channel by buying me a cup of coffee or by visiting my affiliate links. Your help is greatly appreciated and helps us continue to provide content. China and Brazil have penned a deal to ditch the US dollar in favor of their own currencies in trade transactions, the Brazilian government said on Wednesday, as the dollar dominance takes yet another blow as countries continue to make plans to move away from the dollar. The deal will enable China, the top rival to U.S. economic dominance, and Brazil, the biggest economy in Latin America, to conduct their trade and financial transactions directly, exchanging yuan for reals and vice versa. The expectation is that this will reduce costs, encourage even greater mutual trade, and facilitate investment, the Brazilian Trade and Investment Promotion Agency said in a statement. China is Brazil's largest trading partner, accounting for more than a fifth of all imports, followed by the United States, according to the latest figures. China is also Brazil's largest export market, accounting for more than a third of all exports. This was bound to happen as countries see that the United States has maintained a huge financial advantage over countries for decades. Also, countries see that if they don't follow the rules set forth by the United States, then their economies are in danger of having heavy restrictive sanctions placed on their countries. In this specific case, China has overtaken the United States as Brazil's top trading partner since 2009. Today, Brazil is the largest beneficiary of Chinese investment in Latin America, with heavy focus on electricity transmission and oil extraction. Representatives from both countries reached a preliminary agreement to get rid of the US dollar in January, and the deal was announced after a high-level Chinese-Brazil business forum in Beijing. The Industrial and Commercial Bank of China and Bank of Communications BBM will execute the transactions, officials said. Recently, China has similar currency deals with Russia, Pakistan, and several other countries. This new deal launches a severe blow to the dollar's dominance, and Americans need to prepare themselves for what is happening. Losing our reserve currency status would set in motion a severe destabilization of an already fragile American economy overnight. People's savings and investments would immediately lose significant value. Remember, any investment you have are tied to the stock market, and that includes any individual stocks you may own or your 401k plans. If the dollar continues its slide and its status as the world reserve currency, everyone's 401k and investments would utterly collapse and lose their value. As the moving away from the dollar continues, I think about how wealthy people, and with greater frequency and volume central banks do to hedge themselves against this eventual collapse. And without deviation, these entities invest in physical gold and silver. Owning physical gold and silver is the only way to protect your purchasing power if the dollar does collapse. Gold and silver have been around for thousands of years and is considered real money in every country on the planet. It is always used to preserve your wealth and hedge against a falling dollar, meaning that the strategy of investing in gold and silver is used to offset losses in investments by taking an opposite position in a related asset. Aside from this strategy, it is important to store up some extra food, water, and other items that you use daily that may be difficult to get due to supply chain issues or because they would simply become unaffordable. As you remember from the not-too-distant past, these items became extremely difficult to find, and the cost of these items skyrocketed as well. So it makes sense to pick up some extra items every time you visit the grocery store. Buying a little extra here and there would have a very minimal impact financially. I know it's difficult to think about these things because the truth is most people don't want to even consider the idea of the United States losing its reserve currency status. Most people have a normalcy bias, meaning that in their minds, since the United States has been in power for so long, that there is no way we could ever lose that power and dominance. It's not easy to look at society and think anything really is going to change. But the signs of the times are everywhere for those paying attention. No one really knows how bad things will get, but they certainly will get worse before they get better, and it makes sense to be prepared should the worst happen. What's the worst case? You have some extra items to use over time. It would save you money anyway, as these things will no doubt be more expensive in the future. Just take a minute to think about the possibility of the dollar losing its status as a world reserve currency, with the value of the dollar collapsing. In that situation, if you made some minor preparations, You will be in a much more comfortable position. You would not have to wait in lines for food or necessities, and you would feel much better knowing that you and your family would be able to weather that storm. Also, remember that the skills you have would become a good bartering tool. You can always trade your skills and barter for the things you may need. If you can build, grow food, fix cars, etc., those skills become a way for you to provide for yourself and your family. Improve them. Making yourself invaluable is a great way to ensure you can protect and provide for your loved ones in a time of crisis. Thank you for listening. Please note that nothing in this video should be taken as financial advice. The information and comments are based on my own opinions. Until next time, this is the Rudick Report.